ActionFigureResource.com.
The Action Figure Resource Collector Guide to GI Joe, Sigma 6, Snake Eyes. This is one of a multi-part series of focused figure reviews with some crucial Joe history to give collectors a better understanding of this long-running multimedia toy franchise. The Sigma 6 series of GI Joe was available between 2005 and 2007. It represented a rebooting of sorts for Hasbro's Real American Hero brand of the 80s, which had already enjoyed something of a success post-90s. It was also a way of changing scale and sculpt type, design aesthetic and focus, launching a new cartoon and reimagining our favourite Joes in interesting new anime-inspired ways. Eschewing the 3 3/4 inch scale of the 80s figures, these guys stand approximately 8 inches high. The premise and explanation behind their restyled look are the Sigma suits, which are both protective and provide a boost to their base level fighting abilities. Figures released over those 2 years include some classic favourites: Duke, Heavy Duty, Tunnel Rat, Snake Eyes and his apprentice Kamakura, Spirit, who for licensing purposes had to be qualified as Spirit Iron Knife, possibly due to the upcoming Frank Miller directed movie of Will Eisner's The Spirit, as well as Cobra's Zartan, Destro, Storm Shadow and Cobra Commander. And no, they didn't make Scarlet, Baroness or Lady J, for the often lamented by me marketing assumption that boys don't buy figures of girls and girls don't buy figures at all. The packaging was actually really rather clever, with both the top and bottom half of the clamshell case joined in the middle by a sturdy angular window box came apart and reassembled, utilizing the foam inlays as an accessory case for the various weapons. Pictured here is the mint and complete Snake Eyes that I used to own. We can see his case and a battle harness with shoulder pads, both of which are missing from the figure we picked up for this review. Aside from that, everything is accounted for and this is in excellent condition. Snake Eyes here is constructed of weighty, high quality plastic. There are around 30 points of articulation, roughly in line with, say, Marvel Legends. The joints hold their pose and turn with quiet, gradational clicks rather than just smooth action, which helps them stay firmly posed. There's a ball-jointed head allowing for up and down as well as around, and some neat characterizing head cocking can come from this. The shoulders have ball joints, the elbows are hinged as well as subtly ball jointed so the forearms can turn and the wrists turn and allow posing of the hand. There is a hinged midriff above the separate cut joint waist, which allows an excellent array of fluid movement. The pelvis to thigh connection is ball jointed to allow a similarly broad array of athletic leg movements. Hinged and ball jointed knees and ball jointed ankles mirror the elbows and wrists. As I said, these are satisfyingly heavy figures and hold their balance with confident assurance. The paint scheme is muted and militaristic with matte black and olive drab, unlike many of the other more colourful figures in this line, including some more snazzy Snake Eyes variations. This is patently an iconic character with an image to uphold, so Hasbro decided not to mess with the perception of him. This is effectively an idealized version of what every Joe fan pictures when you say Snake Eyes. He looks like he is a ninja commando used to sneaking in and getting the job done quietly. The concessions to a more exotic design come in the lime green detail on the swords, suction cups and Sigma 6 logo, and of course the dog tag, which while oversized and liable to be noisy when ninja sneaking, is a callback to classic Joe and thus is endearing enough to stay. He has this fun Buzz Lightyear style flip up panel on his left forearm, something I wish more figures had. His feet have Japanese teibai elements, and his hands are chunky and have that flexible kung fu grip, calling back to Joe of yesteryear. The overall impression is of a high-tech ninja incorporating the best and most practical modern warfare advancements into a classical ensemble. If there's one thing Snake Eyes needs, it's an array of awesome weaponry, and this figure not only doesn't disappoint, but provides the most accessories that I have seen for an off-the-shelf toy aimed at kids and collectors alike. Strapped to his leg you will find the sheath for a short sword, or wakizashi. This is detailed and painted to look practical and military issue rather than traditional. I miss the harness and belt, which made weapon slotting more simple, and I do love the miniaturized clasp around the elasticized leg strap. There are 2 katanas, and these are the straight ninja assassin kind rather than the curved samurai kind. Each has an extendable side handle. A clever bit of optional modding allows you to combine both long and/or short swords into an elaborate bladed staff. Each katana also has a scabbard that can be attached to either the holes in Snake Eyes' back or any of the other slots he has on his arms, legs, and even chest. These holes remind me of the Centurions line from the 80s, and although most of the attachments here would be impractical, the interaction with accessories from other figures opens up a raft of loadout possibilities and encourages buying more. Not content with one iconic visor based on his version 2 appearance, later popularized in the comic and cartoon, Snake Eyes has two alternatives: a Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell inspired night vision goggles setup, and a breathing mask that evokes Raiden at the beginning of Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. Whether consciously or not, this brings the classic 80s stealth action hero up to date in the minds of video gaming adults and kids. Underneath that, you have the fierce, focused eyes of a ninja revealed for the first time in figure form. He's also packing the same Uzi 9mm present in his original 1982 incarnation, back when the Real American Hero was launched, as well as the version 2 some 3 years later. It has a removable clip, and while permanently associated with the character, should, in all practicality, be replaced with a silenced weapon for all those stealth missions, although it's possible that by the time he has to go to the gun, the fireworks have already started. Additionally, he is equipped with two large bright green suction cups, perfect for climbing windows. Accessories like this absolutely lend themselves to more versatile play, and I cannot encourage toy manufacturers enough to include items like this over gaudy, oversized damp squib rocket launchers. There is this weird, enormous ninja star with a bit of string attached that I believe in principle is part of a grappling zipline set. Again, this encourages play, but in execution the string, while it does wind yo-yo-like around the bladed wheel, is still too short for any kind of lengthy rappelling or traversal. It's interesting though, and again lends itself to more elaborate aerial play. As for the zipline handle itself, with the addition of some easy to acquire thin, strong black cord, this could be quite a useful accessory to have. In summation, this is not only the best Joe figure I've ever handled, but the benchmark to which I hold most figures to in terms of chunky, detailed sculpt, quality construction, articulation, accessories, and faithful rendering of a beloved character, with just enough new ideas balanced with old mainstays to make this distinctive and unlikely to date. This is the 2006 Casino Royale, delivered with confidence and purpose. Few of the other Sigma 6 line come close, since the more cartoonish faces actually remind me of the Small Soldiers movie, which every figure collector should see. So I'm giving this an exceptionally rare 10 out of 10. I would dock it 1 point for the harness and accessory crate being missing, but if you guys take into account that this is a figurative grade for a packaged toy I have already owned, then it's an accurate score. In an ideal world, all action figures would be made this cool. Get thee to eBay or wherever else you can find older toys for sale in suitably good condition and start looking. And while most Joe fans will already have seen the 2 live-action movies, not everyone will have watched GI Joe Resolute, which is a dazzling hour-long animated feature with a more mature flavour, featuring many of our favourite characters and a focus on the conflict between Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. It's available on DVD in the USA. Also be sure to check out our other videos on Classic Joe, Real American Hero, and the Hall of Fame. I'm Alex Shaw, and this is Action Figure Resource.
Chuck Norris stars in Chuck Norris Karate Commandos.
Yeah, that was real.
ActionFigureResource.com